All right, everybody, welcome to SR Broadcasting. We're here tonight with GFRL Homenet hosting Cup Series. We're at Kentucky Motor Speedway for 167 laps tonight. Right now, I am joined by Wingnut up here in the booth. What's going on, brother?
G'day there, mate. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Got the door open tonight. Some cool air coming in, and hopefully I'll survive a little bit better.
And the exact opposite around here.
Yeah, I can't believe how cold it is over there by you, man.
Yeah, man, going to single digits, and that to me is like walking on ice.
Wow, I can't believe it. What's like the normal temperature right now for this time of the year by you?
It's normally a bit warm. Like going below the tens is a little odd, you know.
Yeah.
But thing to happen, that's cold. Now we're getting to like the mid like single digits. It's like, oh my god, just take me out now. Just put me back in the bed, please.
Well, you'll be warm after tonight's race, man. We don't have a whole lot of drivers out here tonight so far. Really surprised. The only thing I can think of is guys are getting their last-minute vacations in before, school starts and everything like that. But, should be a pretty decent race. Quick take a look at the temperature because a little bit different tonight. They got 80 degrees in the air, 80 degrees on the track. So going to be probably a little bit slick. I've been looking at some of the times of the drivers. Right now we're looking at the 09 of Jeff Woopkers being shown in fourth. His best lap is a 30.617 and his last lap was a 31.197. And the car does drop off pretty quick. Look, you see him get a little bit wiggly there. So
I wonder if that's going to be a trend in this race.
yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be. See the 337 there of Brandon Stokes. I don't think I have a number for him. I thought I made all the 300 numbers, but I don't see one. So I must got to go back and make a few more, I guess.
The good thing about this league is that all the 300 numbers are rookie drivers to the series.
Yeah.
So you can tell them.
Right now, the number 2, Michael Javarthan, is sitting up in your top spot.
Only just? What was that, 1/100th? 1,000th?
Yeah, he's, man, only not even.
I know, it's minuscule.
Let me see if I can refresh the paints here. For some reason, I don't think the paints are being shown. I know Trading Paints is on. Oh, no, it's not. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? Let me kick it over to commercial real quick and get these paints fixed up. We'll be right back.
Is your personal computer running as well as it should be? Has something gone wrong and you don't know how to fix it? We rely on our computers for everything nowadays. Work, entertainment, and socializing, as well as storing personal data and precious photographs. So when your computer stops working, it could seem like life has stopped too. Our computer repair technicians are fully qualified and skilled. They are experienced and efficient enough to locate the cause of the problem and find the right solution to get your computer back up and running in the fastest possible time. And they'll do it without confusing you with geek speak or charging you the earth. Don't risk losing everything. Get your computer running right again. Call the professionals today.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. We got it fixed up now. Big wreck right there with the 61, and I believe that was the 09. We got about 6 minutes left before these guys do go to qualify. Let's take a quick look at the points here on the point standings. Right now, Eric Mick, he's still holding on to the top spot. He's got 684 points, and I don't see him here, and I think he wasn't here last week also at Daytona. Michael Javarthan right now sitting second in the point standings. Jeff Schmidt third. Jeff Wupker sitting fourth. Skylar Allen is sitting fifth. Josh Bonwell is sixth. Austin Marion, last week's Daytona winner, sitting seventh. Tyler Cox is sitting eighth. Joe Burchett is ninth. And Robert Dudley is 10th. And out of that, a bunch of those guys are not here tonight again. So going to be a little mix-up in the point standings again next week.
Hey, regardless of where he comes, I think Travath will get a nice little boost in his points compared to his first-place rival.
Yeah. And he's a pretty good driver, too, so I got a feeling he's going to do pretty good here tonight. We've seen some...
He had the fastest lap, so he is definitely like showing he's got the pace on this track.
But if you look, Doug George in that number 10, man, right now, for those of you who can't see it, but Michael Javarthan's best lap is a 30.430, and Doug George is a 30.436. So I mean, he is right there knocking on the door.
Oh yeah, that's about as close as you can get, to be honest.
67, Robert Hill Jr. sitting in fifth. Eric Minch, the number 32, he's sitting in eighth right now. And now Nate.
Noticing that all getting a bit slippy at exit 2, so that might be a recurring theme during the race.
Yeah, I guarantee you're going to see that. And as the rubber goes down, too, it's going to get a lot more slick. Guys are going to have to really wheel it through there.
Really going to slip and hit the wall, one of the two.
Got the 3:04, Nate Catilla just coming out, running some laps here. Got on a little bit late. He's got a best lap right now of a 31.212, trying to get a feel for it, see if he can back that up a little bit more. You see that right there. A lot of the cars, when they exit 4, you watch the rear end, man, it just goes sliding. Go back to Robert Hill Jr. at number 67. Let's jump up on his roof. Let's take a lap around with him.
I'm very much curious how much of that slip is people pushing it too hard during practice, or if it's actually how the track currently is, or just inexperience.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's, because during practice, guys want to get their name up on the top, so they push a little bit harder.
Best time to do it, man. Like, if you crash in practice, what do you do to...
Yeah, let's come back out and do it again.
And again, and again.
During the race, you don't want to do that, though. There is no fast repairs here. There also is, I believe, a 12x incident rule. So if you get 12 incidents against you on your car running through the grass or crashing, it is going to remove you from the server. That's it. Park it. See you. Good night. So right now there's 10 drivers out here. Let's go back to Doug George in at number 10. Little less than 2 minutes left before we go to qualify. We're going to kick off in a second, run our anthem, and then we'll come back with qualify, get this show on the road. This is the Homenet Hosting Cup Series here at Go Fast Racing League, GFRL. Saturday night following the NASCAR schedule, so it should be pretty good. I almost said NASCAR special. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. All right, let's run the anthem and we'll be right back. All right, we're getting ready. There's about 17 seconds left right now, and we're going to hit qualify. Right now, there is, I believe there was 10 drivers out there, but one driver left, you said?
Yeah, one of the drivers disconnected, Brandon Stokes. Not quite sure why. Maybe he's having some technical issues.
Yeah. I'm looking to see Mark Cohen in the 306. I've known Mark for a long time. I've raced with him years and years ago. I know he's a really good driver. He's got some pretty good skills. I'm curious to see how he's going to do tonight on this slick track. All right, qualifiers up. Let's see who's going to be the first one out on the track. Looks like Doug George in the number 10, so we'll take a ride around with George and we'll see what kind of time he gets up here. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Mark is going to do tonight here. We raced back, man, I don't even know what it was, 2012, 13 or somewhere. Yeah, we've been around a while. But he was crazy. He was crazy fast back then. And I know here on iRacing, he's got a couple wins already and, moving himself forward. So hopefully he have a good run here tonight. I'd like to see him stick around to the end and have himself a good finish here.
Well, in this series, apparently he's counted as a rookie driver, so previous experience going to be great. Let's see how he does in this series.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that?
I was watching Minch. I missed something awesome.
All right, let's go with Minch here.
I see what you mentioned. I'm guessing you're watching Doug George there?
Yeah, I was watching him and I seen him come off the turn there, man, almost sideways. And I took it back down pit road real quick.
Yeah, I'm watching everyone, all having issues in this, all roughly the same area. Like, end of 4, end of 2, everyone's getting a little loose. I did a few laps myself a bit earlier, and it's definitely, it's slick.
Well, so far right now, Jeff Schmidt got that top spot. We'll see if Mike Trevarthen is going to do anything.
I watched a few guys slip out. We saw Doug George earlier. We also saw Nate Cotila also have a little bit of a slip issue.
Yeah, I got a feeling that's going to be the issue tonight. And even green flag pits or pitting, I think it's going to be for tires more than for fuel. So I think they'll have a lot more fuel than tires, just by the way the characteristics of this track has been.
As slippery as this track is, pit entry is going to be pretty crucial as well. Get that wrong, you get either speeding penalty or you're going to be sideways.
Yeah, I'll do like I did Thursday in practice trying to pit. I kept waiting until the end of 4 and jumping down and trying to downshift and brake and spinning around. You got to start way further back slowing down, man. And it seems like an eternity getting from the middle of 3 and 4 into the pits. You feel like you're losing so much time.
There's 2 ways of doing it. There's a fast way and there's a safe way.
Yeah. Well, right now Trevarthen shown in second and Jeff Wubker up in the top.
Watching Trevarthen going around the track. He hasn't had much of a slip issue at all. He's been playing really carefully.
Just hit the wall.
Oh, man. I just got to that too. Damn it. Yeah, no worries, brother. I was a couple seconds behind.
Yeah, he came right down into the wall. But right now, Jeff Wubker hanging on to that top spot. He's got a 30.423. And I believe the only other driver out there right now was Robert Hill Jr., and he's coming to a stop. And he's sitting in 4th. So we got quite a ways now before qualified does go down. Got about 6 minutes left. I'm not sure if they go into driver's meeting during the qualified time or not. Can't
Not
remember.
quite sure. I haven't seen hide nor hair of Mark Cohen yet.
He may not be qualifying. He may be choosing to start in the back.
Maybe.
I know we got a lot of drivers that like to start in the back. So let me throw up the point standings again real quick. A couple of the drivers that are here in the points aren't here on track, so there's definitely going to be a shakeup next week in the points. But Eric Mick's been hanging on to that top spot with a 684. Michael Tavarthan with a 667. Man, I'll tell you what, last couple of weeks he's been losing a bunch of points. So I wonder if there's going to be enough drivers out here tonight with a win for Tavarthan to take over that top spot. Also,
if nothing else, he'll definitely be closing the gap. Even if he comes like 5th or 6th, there's still more points chipping away.
Yeah, he'll definitely get a lot closer. This is the Homenet hosting Cup Series at GFRL Go Fast Racing League, Kentucky Motor Speedway. Got 167 laps here tonight. No stages, straight on through racing. First start will be on green. After that, drivers can go anytime the pace car does move off. Last week's winner was Austin Marion at Daytona. That was a pretty good race last week too, man.
I'm sad I missed it, man.
It was pretty decent. A lot of good running, man. A lot of hard racing going on out there, man. Austin Marion, I forget how many laps he led, but he ended up coming home with the win, and I bumped him up quite a bit in the points.
It's always a good feeling when you win the race, damn sure.
Yeah, even if it is a plate race, man. Yes, I'm waiting. These guys are in their driver's meeting. Once they're done with the driver's meeting, we should be going back green. Let's take a quick look here. Jeff Wupger is going to be first. Michael Tavarthan second. Jeff Schmidt third. Robert Hill Jr. fourth. Nate Catilla fifth. Eric Minch sixth. Austin Marion seventh. Doug George eighth. Brandon Stokes, you said he left the server. Mark Cohn, I'm not sure. I'm not showing him active, so I'm not really sure what is going on with him. Hopefully he's here. I would like to see him run tonight. I don't see him in any of the channels either, so I'm not really sure.
I've been looking around for him, can't see him anywhere, so maybe he's had to go, or maybe he's just doing his own thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just a fancy way of just sitting back and watching.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back in a minute.
Is your personal computer running as well as it should be? Has something gone wrong and you don't know how to fix it? We rely on our computers for everything nowadays. Work, entertainment, and socializing, as well as storing personal data and precious photographs. So when your computer stops working, it could seem like life has stopped too. Our computer repair technicians are fully qualified and skilled. They are experienced and efficient enough to locate the cause of the problem and find the right solution to get your computer back up and running in the fastest possible time. And they'll do it without confusing you with geek speak or charging you the earth. Don't risk losing everything. Get your computer running right again. Call the professionals today.
All right, we're back. We are just getting ready now to grid up. So sit tight. Let's get the grid going and wait for these guys to get on track. Get this thing moving here. Got 167 laps. Waiting to see who's going to get on here first. There we go.
You still haven't seen any eyes on Mark Cohn, unfortunately. So I guess he must have had to pull out for some reason.
Yeah, it's too bad. I would have liked to seen him run here tonight. All right, we got Jeff Wupker starting first. Oh yeah, that's right. I believe he did.
Yes, he did. He
Yeah.
did. He got
I don't know for some reason why I was thinking Jeff Schmidt. Jeff Wupker starting first. Congratulations on the pole to the 09 Jeff Wupker. Michael Trevarthen going to be started second. Starting third is going to be Jeff Schmidt. Robert Hill Jr. is going to start fourth. Fifth is going to be Nate Catilla. Eric Minch going to be starting sixth. Seventh is going to be Austin Marion, last week's Daytona winner. Number 10, Doug George is starting eighth. And Mark Cohn is shown as ninth, and Brandon Stokes is shown as 10th. And I don't see either of those drivers on the track, so we're going to have 8 drivers starting here tonight. Hopefully they don't get too spread out too far. Hopefully we see some good racing, some green flags. I do think, though, we're going to see a little bit of trouble with the back end of the car coming out.
Oh yeah, the main two enemies on this track are going to be tyres and the exits of the turns. Exit of turn 2, exit of turn 4. Both of those have been shown to be very slippery.
Yeah, and wait till the rubber gets down and the fuel load kind of goes away a little bit.
And the tyres start getting torn up, yeah. Yeah, they got half of them going that corner at full pelt. Someone's going to lose it sooner or later.
All right, lights are out, car is in. We're waiting now for Jeff Wupker, your leader on the inside, for the green flag, and we're gone. And it looks like you got a pretty good start, but look at that outside line, man. They got a pretty decent start going.
Trevarthen got it right on the green. Wupker kind of hesitated a little bit by the looks of it.
Now, I know Wednesday night the outside line was the line to be in. The inside line was very hard to pass. We see the 09 of Wupker down there. We'll see early on if he's able to take it. See, that outside line gets such a runoff, man. Yeah, it's really hard.
And Wupker's playing it really safe, staying right down the line, not getting anywhere near Trevarthen at all.
Go back here to the 10 of Doug George and the 65 of Austin Marion. And I believe that's a 304 of Nate Catilla up on the top.
Yep.
Side by side, Robert Hill now looking down low underneath the 09 of Wupker.
Two problems with that bottom line, obviously. First one being that you're going to be slower on exit all the time. The second one is you're going to be burning up your tyres.
Yeah.
Destroying.
That is the ultimate price, man, that you pay. Those tires burn out and you're done.
Yeah, you gotta make that pass clean and quick. Every lap you take, trying to get underneath them, is another lap your tires just cry.
And here comes Jeff Schmidt now to the inside.
Stuck his nose in there, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to keep it.
And look at the run that the 67 gets, man. He's closing in on Wupker really fast.
Yeah, if Wupker wants to mess with Robert Hill, all he needs to do is just stick on the inside line. Oh, hold on. Wupker just lost a lot of speed there.
Yeah, I was gonna say he something happened to him, and he had to back out of it a little bit. But if you look, Schmidt now goes to second place. He does get that spot. There's a bump out there on the outside line, man, that if you you hit it right, your car, if you watch some of these cars when they hit that bump, it's like it almost jumps up a whole lane. And that could be what he did. He might have caught that bump up there and really threw the car out. But there, I'll tell you what, right behind Schmidt, between Doug George, Wupker, Robert Hill Jr., man, these guys ain't giving up just yet.
But Doug George managed to get past, but on the exit there, he got a little bit slidey. He almost hit the wall, managed to collect it and keep going without losing almost any time.
And look at Wupker now on the inside.
That was a good dive. He almost pulled it off. If he could have got in front of Robert Hill, he would have actually taken the position.
Yeah, you got to get up there and slide it out there really fast. Let's go back here to Austin Marion sitting in 7th. And that number 65, Eric Minch in the number 32 sitting in 8th. Nate Cattell in the 304 in 6th. Wupker now in 5th. Robert Hill Jr. in 4th. Doug George in 3rd. Jeff Schmidt with a great run here right now in 2nd. And Michael Trevarthen out front by about a little over a second. And I'll tell you what, didn't take him long to get up there.
Yeah. And it looks like Smith's starting to match him in lap times as well. He might start catching him. We'll see. Of course, it also could be that Trevarthen just, playing it calm and careful. Don't burn his tires. Don't burn too much fuel. Don't take any risks.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, there ain't nothing worse than having somebody in front of you slow down. You think you're catching them, but then when you catch them, they put the pedal back down and take off. Kind of hurts your ego a little bit.
Yes. I'm getting it. Never mind, no, I'm not.
Yeah. It really hurts your ego a little bit because you're like, man, I really thought I had a car here tonight.
But for a moment there, just didn't manage to break away from Doug George. Now George is going on the inside at the exit of 4.
Yeah, I was going to say George was right on his bumper, and looks like Schmidt's going to let him go by, maybe.
You might get this. This is how you would do the pass on the inside.
Don't see the crossover, no. Oh, Schmidt on the yellow line.
And George played that right. So just hugged the apex, didn't allow Smith to get on his inside. And just held his line and then punched it on the exit.
And you see Schmidt there, man, grab that yellow line a little bit. That car, I'll tell you what, just from experience on that track, that yellow line is not your friend.
Yeah, these cars are already slippery enough as it is in this track. Add that to the mix, and I'm surprised he managed to stay, to be quite honest.
Let's go back to Robert Hill Jr. in that 67. Let's take a ride up on his roof. Take a lap around with him. Take a look at some of the speed here as we come across the front. About what was that, 199? Or 189. My eyes are bad.
Price of getting old, man. The price of getting old.
Yeah. It's that circle of life thing going on. Oh, and he's going around. Oh, he saves it. That was a good save right there. He'll lose a couple spots, but he's got the car together, so that's all that matters. That'll put him back in 8th. He'll be looking for a caution or that first pit stop to get some fresh tires on there, but that was a great save right there by him.
Could have been a lot worse, for damn sure.
Yeah, it could have been up in the wall and end his night, so he's still got a chance. If you look right now, Doug George managed to pull away from Jeff Schmidt. Doug George is about 1.4 behind Michael Trevarthen, so we'll see if Doug George has anything for him. We saw Doug George was pretty fast in warm-up, so he's definitely got a fast car here if he does it right.
Oh, and from previous races as well, Doug George can occasionally have some amazing pace. At the moment, he's matching Trevarthen in lap times. That could be because George is pushing or because Trevarthen is relaxing. We don't know. But this could shape up to be something quite interesting for sure.
Well, we'll find out if he gets close enough to him. Let's go back. Jeff Wupker sitting in 4th. Austin Marion right now under fire by the 304 of Nate Catilla, and Eric Minch now getting into that. Matter of fact, all 4 of these guys gathered up around each other right now.
Not really enviable. It's the faster line for sure to be on the outside, but there's always the worry, especially on a track as slippery as this, and the guy that's passing on the inside is going to slip once and touch you and send your car on the ride.
Wow, look at that. You see the 32 Eric Minch take it down low, pass him, slide all the way back up the track, and they almost go 3 wide and almost contact right there.
Yeah, and also Marion managed to pull the pass on Nate Cotillo. Nice and clean.
And they almost slammed doors there, man. That could have been bad.
Oh yeah. Looks like Austin Marion's kind of broken away a bit. Mitch might catch him.
Yeah, Robert Hill's got some right side damage on that car.
Oof. Yeah, and he almost had an impact from Nate Cotillo.
Yeah.
Almost slid right up into him.
Yeah, he must have. I didn't see when he lost it in that turn if he made contact with the wall prior, but definitely had an incident with the wall because you can see some damage on the whole right side of that car.
From what I saw of his spin, looks like he just pushed a little bit too hard on exit. Didn't hit the wall, slid it, hit the brakes, got it back straight, and just went off again.
We jumped in.
Up front, Doug George and Trevathan are roughly matching times. George gets a little bit faster than Trevathan matches him and then beats him the next lap. Could just be race pace, or could be strategy playing out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see when these guys are going to make their pit stops because I know tires are going to be an issue here. We're sitting inside with the 304 Nate Cotillo from the driver's view. And you can see him, he closes right up on the 67.
Oh wow, that was actually a really good dive from Cotillo. I didn't expect that to work as well as it did.
Just that outside line, man, it gets that run.
I expected on the outside line that was Hill was going to pull away from him, but instead Cotillo managed to hold him up, just hold right next to him, and get the pass.
Yeah, he got that position, so Cotillo going to move up to 7th. Hill right now back to 8th.
Well, Cotillo just slid up there quite a bit, and Hill's going to pass him on the inside.
Oh, close to the wall.
Yep, both of them went for a little bit of a slide there too.
Look at the slowdown right there on the bottom by Hill.
Yeah. The bottom line's absolutely brutal. Great on the entrance, bad on the exit. That being said, when Cotillo pulled that pass down there, he managed to come at exit almost roughly the same speed as Hill. So maybe Hill's got some damage, or maybe he just has a different line.
Yeah, he's got that right side damage, so I'm sure that's got to be hurting him just a little bit. You see him right there get just a little bit slippery on exit.
Oh yeah, same with Cotillo. Cotillo had a smaller slide, but then Hill had that big slide. Every single time when he turned to exit, they both just sliding out.
Lap after lap. We're already at lap 21, man. Wow.
Meanwhile, word from the front, Doug George and Trevathan, same lap times, nothing changed.
And he's got about 1.8 over Doug George. Then we go back to 3rd place, Jeff Schmidt. And right behind Jeff Schmidt is Jeff Wubger, not too far off the pace.
Smith's about 0.1 of a second off from Doug George. Sorry, 0.3. And Wubger's actually faster than Smith last lap, so he might actually catch him. And we have another little 1v1 fight.
Go up with our leader, Trevathan. I know it's Trevathan, but I always say Trevathan. What's his name? Curtis used to always correct me on that.
I don't know any better, so you'll be getting any of that from me. I've been keeping my eye back on Cotillo and Hill. Looks like that fight started to break up a bit, but almost every single exit they have a little slide each.
Yeah, it looks like Hill kind of pulled away at the moment.
Yeah, Cotillo's sticking to that low line almost religiously at the moment.
And you see Cotillo, he gets the close in on him. He just...
He's on exit, yeah.
Oh, see right there, you can see the back end of that car, man, wants to go around so bad.
This track is going to be so slippery for these guys.
See, I want to see if you watch on the outside line, you watch some of the cars go by, there is that bump up there somewhere. I can't remember. I think it's in turn 2, but I'm not 100% sure. But, man, when you catch that bump, it just kind of offsets that car.
Gives you one hell of a scare.
Let's go back up here.
You guys are driving nice and clean and smooth, but I got my money on someone just pushing a little too hard on the exit turn 2 and putting their tail into the wall.
Yeah, especially now we're coming to lap 26. Starting to get a little bit of fuel burned out of the car. The tires are definitely heated up now. Rubber's getting down on the track. Going to be a surprise for a few.
Once again, news from the front. No change.
That's right. And right now, coming to 26 laps led. This is definitely going to help him.
George were a little bit faster than him by a tenth of a second, and then Trevathan just matched it. Just went, no. This is going to continue.
Yeah, and this is definitely going to help him in the points too, man. Close in on the leader.
Still got a bit of a run on Robert Hill again. He actually managed to make the pass on the low line and then get in front of Hill. He managed to just slide just in front of, just enough to slow Hill down, but not enough to actually cause an incident.
Oh, contact. Oh, is he going to save it? Up into the wall.
We knew it was coming.
Ooh. That's a good save right there. A little bit of damage on that car, but man, he definitely had his hands moving.
Oh, yeah. We knew it was coming. The road's just too slippery.
Yeah, they've been racing really hard, man. Side by side every other lap. Eric Minch started 6th. He is sitting 6th. Indiana.
Porsche does leave the track a little bit split up. Everyone's separated by a good portion of seconds each.
And Doug George, man, who was fast in practice right now, let's see what he gets coming across the line. His next time by, take a look at his time and the leader's time.
Interestingly, Smith started to catch up in speed. Not by much, like there's small bits here and there, but he actually started to catch Doug George by a bit.
Yeah,
He's actually matching Trevathan in speed as well.
Yeah, I was going to say he just about matched the leader's speed that last time by. Let's see what he's got this time by. Wait for
broken clock is up twice a day. Maybe it was a lucky day.
And Doug George was the fastest one that time. Michael Trevathan was second fastest, and then Jeff Schmidt. So they're kind of, going up and down here with these times.
They're all matching each other. Every once in a while, one guy will get a nice little lap, and then he'll lose the next lap, and then the next guy will get the good lap.
Let's take a ride around with Jeff Schmidt here. He's got a nice rhythm, letting off at a pretty good spot, letting the car roll a little bit. Let's go in with our leader. Take a lap around with the leader. See what kind of line he's running here. He stuck it down pretty low coming out. Let the car slide up nice. You see him about a lane up.
Bit of comparison here. Nate Patillo, who was fighting Robert Hill earlier. Now these have been separated. Robert Hill's doing about a 32.6, whereas Nate Patillo's doing 33.5. So he's definitely got a lot of damage in that car. He's lost a lot of speed, about a second a lap compared to the guy he was matching pretty well.
Yeah, he had a pretty good hit with that wall. Oh, Doug George with his hands full. Yeah, he had a pretty good hit with that wall. He's got side damage. Plus, he's got a little bit of rear damage. He's coming down pit road now, going to get his first pit stop in. Maybe try to get some of that damage repaired. So now we'll see if other guys are going to be coming in soon. Usually when you see somebody in the pits, it kind of puts that idea in your head.
This guy might know better than me. I better go in the pits.
And we're coming to lap 35, so I'm sure the car's got to be feeling really tight right now.
Gotta say, it's probably one of the pretty good call from Eric Minch here. Just to play it safe, just put new tires on, don't crash stall, and you probably take a position or two.
The only bad thing is he's going to go a lap down. It doesn't really look like a caution is any time in the future.
Yeah, but is he really racing for places, or you just want to get around the track? I think he probably lost too much there.
I know when I come out, I want to try to get a win.
With the track like it is at the moment, I'd just be glad to make it home. It looks so slippery right now.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Thursday night when we raced these cars on this track, man, it was a handful. Towards the end of the race, I was ready to just pull it in and park. Matter of fact, I think I did with a few laps to go.
It's kind of like the riding on ice on butter.
Yeah, I wasn't really gaining anything, and the car was really awful. I think I let two drivers go by, and I ended up parking it. So we got Michael Javarthan out front. Right now he is coming across to get 36 laps led. We're waiting for him to make his pit stop here tonight. He did start second. He took over the lead and has been pretty much running away with it. Doug George started 8th. He's up to 2nd. He had a really fast car during warm-up and just didn't qualify well. But I'll tell you what, man, he's up in 2nd place right now. 3rd place, who started 3rd, was Jeff Schmidt. He is still hanging on to 3rd. And here comes the 32, not for position.
And last lap, 2 seconds faster than anyone else on the track. And this lap, it was only a second, but it's still a full second faster than every other car.
Yeah, that just shows you what tires do. Just waiting to see.
Go ahead.
I would say just waiting to see who's going to be the next one to come down pit road.
Longer they take, honestly, in my opinion, the better it might be for Minch. If he can just keep up these really fast laps compared to everybody else, he might make up all the time he lost and extra. Or he could fail miserably. Who knows? That's my luck.
Yeah, that's my luck. He ran a 31.412 that time, last time by. Your leader right now crossing the line. Let's see what kind of time. He's got a 32.493. 32.509, and Doug George with a 32.468.
I say, I've gone back multiple times to keep watching Trevathan, and I don't think I've ever actually seen his car actually slip once. Like, no tail happy, no wiggles. He seems to have it like nice and planted down the road.
Yeah, he's a pretty good driver, man. We've seen him for a bunch of races now, get in the car, and he does a great job driving that thing.
Minch still running a full second faster than everyone else. He's about to come up onto the rear of Doug George. That may actually help George out, give him a bit of a drag towards Trevathan, or he may lose time.
See if George get on the back bumper of him and try and take some of that draft.
At this point, it's like anything he can get.
He's just got to hope that when Trevathan goes into the pits, maybe he'll overshoot his pit, slow him down a little bit. I wonder if he sees him going in, if he's going to go in with him, or is he going to try to stay out and get another lap or two ahead.
So that difference in exit speed is insane.
Yeah.
Just watch Minch just take off like a rocket and just leave Doug George behind. Can't even keep up. Whoops. Robert Hill's in the pits. And Nate Catilla. The dominoes start to fall here.
Yeah, both of them with a good stop in their pit. You can see some of the damage on Catilla there.
Yeah, that car, that car ain't minty fresh no more.
And Doug George, coming into the pits, almost lost it.
So I'd say it'll be a successful pit entry then, eh?
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll see if it's going to hold him or not.
Also, Mitch just flew past our leader as well, and Robert Hill just came out next to our leader. Minch is still a full second faster than Trevathan.
Yeah, you see Robert Hill right there, right in front of Trevathan. And Hill is, I believe, 1 lap down.
Yep, him and Minch are 1 lap down.
And Trevathan has got 6.3 seconds over second place, Jeff Schmidt. Jeff needs a good run here tonight. I think a couple races back we've seen him like as if he had a magnet on the back of there or something. Wrong place, wrong time, couple times.
You say that, and as you say that, Webker is starting to pull up towards Smith. He's almost in the draft range. If he gets there, he's going to start, causing Smith a bit of a headache for sure. Might even just straight up pass him.
Schmidt that last time by. Let's see what they get right now. Looks like Schmidt with a 32.711, Woopker with a 32.840, Trevathan with a 32.618.
It's like these guys can hear me. Yeah, the moment I say he's catching him, he loses him by a 10th.
They're like, oh, wait a second, I got to get back on it. Go back here to Doug George in 5th. And then Austin Marion in the number 65, last week's winner.
Trevathan's still going strong on those old tires.
Yeah, his lap times are still pretty decent, man, considering what he got on there, 49 laps.
And George piling his way through the backfield at the moment. Just got past Nate Batista and also passing Jeff Fulker at the same time.
He got himself 4 fresh field goods on there.
Nothing feels better than having a fresh set of tires on your car.
Telling you.
Like, oh, I've got power in this thing. I didn't realize.
Problem is, when you come out with them fresh tires, you want to use them to get back, get yourself back up on the lead lap, but you don't want to burn them out so quick, man. And it's such a hard thing to do. Oh, almost contact.
Yes, I saw that. Really close.
Yeah, Catilla, the 304 and the 61 of Schmidt, but they do keep off each other.
Yeah, Schmidt had the presence of mind to just, give a slight nudge to the right. Don't try turning into it. Good driving from both, I'd say. Waiting to see who blinks next, Schmidt or Trevathan.
Yeah. So far, Austin Marion hasn't come in, Jeff Webger hasn't come in, Jeff Schmidt hasn't come in, and Trevathan has not come in for their pit stop. So between those 4 drivers, and they are 1 through 4 right now, we'll see if who's going to be the first taker out of these top 4.
One weird thing to note, I've been watching Trevathan's lap times, and it doesn't seem he's slipping his laps that much. Like, he's just roughly holding 32.50s, 32.60s. Seems like he hasn't actually lost much time after the tires started dying.
Yeah, and if you look like that, let's see this time by.
His previous lap was like a 32.63, and the next lap was a 32.65.
And if you look, Schmidt was a 32.69, and Woopker was a 32.84.
Like, well, obviously, compared to brand new tires, he's not doing all that well. But if you consider how old those tires are, the fact that he's still pulling 32s,
Yeah, he should be like in the 33s, high 33s, low 34s by now.
Yeah, he must have wished a blessing upon those tires before this race, because those things are holding out.
He better hang on to those, to that bunch, man. They match those tires up real good. I need those tires next time.
You consider that Doug George has pitted and is back out and is now behind him. George is only at 1.5 seconds faster, which of course in racing that's a pretty big gap. But at the same time, it should be a lot more. Travaglia should be just like on pins and needles right now.
And there he goes. And he goes right by. So that's going to put Doug George back on the lead lap.
And Jeff Wubka has blinked and he's now going to the pits. And he's now heading back out with a fresh set of tires.
All right, so we still have 3 drivers that haven't pitted yet. We're coming to lap 55. I think guys are going to try to make this in like a 1.5 pit stop maybe.
Yes, Schmidt isn't blinking either. He's staying on the track as well.
Yeah.
So him and Travaglia they know something we don't apparently, because they've still got good pace.
Even Austin Marion, man, 32.963 last time by. Let's see if he's going to back that up right now.
Yeah, the 32.9 for Travaglia this lap, probably one of the slowest so far.
Yeah, and Marion with a 33.069, so they're definitely dropping off pretty quick right now. I say within the next 5 or 6 laps, I think these guys are going to be coming in. Here comes Schmidt as we talk. He's gotten pretty far on those tires, man. 56 laps.
Austin Marion couldn't really go into the pits there, so he stayed out.
Watching Jeff Schmidt here.
I think Travaglia's coming in now as well. Travaglia going for his pit.
Schmidt with a good stop, doesn't slide through. Let's watch our leader here, Travaglia, and see if he gets a nice smooth pit stop. Had a good entrance, didn't see any wobbles or anything out of him.
He took a clean and careful. He didn't even try like pushing it. Just nice and carefully, bring it in smoothly.
And that technically should give the lead up to Doug George if he can get back around.
I actually believe the lead should transfer over to Austin Marion at the moment because he still has not pitted.
And he is going to bring it in.
Never mind.
Ooh. Little bit hot.
Hoping he doesn't pick up a penalty for that one.
We have a new leader now, Doug George, number 10. All right, Marion with a good stop. So Doug George now out front, going to get himself a lap lead. Travaglia is right now being shown 18 seconds back. Obviously, Doug George is on a lot older tires right now than Travaglia, so we'll see if he's got enough to catch up to him here, how long it's going to take.
If we have anything, if you compare the previous set of tires and see how they were going, the brand new sets are about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than an absolute total set. So, and that was over almost 60 laps. So, I think that lead that Doug George has got is just not going to be enough. You have to pit again and try and get a fresh set again, just try and keep up with the pace.
If he can do that though towards the end and time it right again like he did this time, man, it could be an interesting story here.
Could be a winning strategy for sure. Just pushing, burn up the tires, get a new set, and just keep going. Whereas Travaglia's playing nice and calm, just taking the tires as far as they can go.
And right now, George isn't. Doug George doesn't really have that bad of a time. Let's see what it goes this time by. He's got a 31.596. We'll see what Travaglia gets across the line.
Also, the situation may have played pretty well into Jeff Whipker's hands because he's now right behind one of the fastest cars on track. If he can hold on for as long as possible, he might be able to catch up to Doug George later down the track.
Yeah, Trevarton just ran a 31.403, so not a whole lot faster than Doug George. He's still about 17 seconds back.
When those tires start to die, they're going to start dying hard.
Jeff Schmidt now in fourth, trying to chase down Jeff Wupker. We'll jump up on the roof of Jeff Schmidt, take a lap around with him. Looking right now at Jeff Wupker.
Fortunately, I think he's lost the draft now to Trevarton, so all that little bit of benefit he got, it might help him further down the track, but probably wasn't quite as great as he might have been hoping.
And right now, Trevarton still, well, actually, Jeff Schmidt ran the fastest lap that last time by, 31.083.
No, actually, Austin Marin beat him by 1/100th of a second the previous lap. He was a 30.7.
Wow.
0 seconds.
Almost 66 laps down here. We've only had one lead change so far, and that was from Trevarton to Doug George. So I have 103 laps going.
Watching some of these cars, you can tell we wiggle with bad tires, but so far they're all doing pretty alright.
Yeah, it seemed like it got a little bit better than it was in practice. Every so often you see somebody just give a slight little shake there on exit.
Yeah, none of the big slides, wiggles, or hair-raising moments. Looks like everyone's starting to get their groove and just keep going.
How about Doug George though, man? Let's take a quick look at him. He started 8th. He's up here in the front leading. He'll be coming to 10 laps led this time by. We know he definitely has a fast car here. We'll see if his strategy is going to pay off. Trevarton was 17 seconds behind. He is down to 13.9.
And last second, he was 0.7 of a second faster than Doug George. Those brand new tires paying up dividends for him for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely going to catch up to him. I think by the time he catches him, George will probably be ready for his next pit stop.
Yep, to get a brand new set again and push it again and try and get ahead of him.
If he can come out like he did, though, this last time, 17, 18 seconds ahead with only about, maybe 40 to go or so, he might have a good battle there at the very end.
Yep, two for sure. One stretching his tires out, the other one is burning, or at least appears to be.
And with Trevarton, I believe Trevarton's a pretty good long-run driver, too.
Oh, yeah, it looks like him and Jeff Smith are definitely good at nursing their tires home. No, also Austin Marin as well, of course. He's always been, as he's currently right in the tail of Jeff Wupker. Not for position.
Yeah, he's just caught himself in a bad spot, man. Stuck one lap down so far at the moment. Let's see. The first driver a lap down is Eric Minchin at number 32. So should a caution come out, he will get the wave around. And then Catilla in the 304 is your second driver a lap down. And he's not too far behind. He's, what, about 6/10 back? And he ran a little bit faster of a lap. Let's see, Traverth in second, Doug George up in the front.
I mean, interesting little strategy race between these two.
Well, so far, these guys doing a good job keeping it green, coming to 72 laps already this time by.
Whoa! A little bit of a wiggle from Nate Catilla there. Got passed by Jeff Wupke. Wasn't for a position, unfortunately. But on the exit of 2, he had a bit of a wiggle, almost lost it right in front of Jeff Smith, but held it and kept going.
And right now, let's see, Jeff Schmidt still sitting in 4th. And it looks like Jeff Schmidt's closing in on Jeff Wupker quite a bit.
I'm not quite sure, but I think Wupke had a little bit of an issue with traffic with Nate Catilla. Or possibly could just be those tyres have started to go bad, while Smith's a brand spanking new.
Let's see what kind of...
Smith's catching fast.
Yeah, Schmidt got a 31.7, Wupker a 31.9, so Schmidt definitely a little bit faster. Running a little bit higher of a line right there. Take a look back from Jeff Wupker's car.
Over the line, their time seemed to have matched pretty much. Smith with a 31.9. Wupke with a 31.9. Starting to see the tyre damage. The earlier pitting car starting to fade away.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see the 09 of Wupker trying to run that low line. And that's just allowing the 61 of Jeff Schmidt to really start closing in on him right now. And he's right there knocking at the door. Let's take a look at what their time span is here. Jeff Wupker's 15 seconds from the leader. Jeff Schmidt is about 2/10 back, almost 2.5 tenths back from Jeff Wupker. See him really close that gap and then lose a little bit on exit. See if he can bring it back down.
Meanwhile, your leader, Doug Jones, just lapped Robert Hill Jr. Clean pass on the inside, just got past him, just kept moving. Hill's now tagging on his tail for a little while, just getting as much speed as he can from the draft. But just watching George take off like a rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, and meanwhile, Smith trying to pass on the inside on Wupke. Wupke really high up there.
And look at the run. That outside line, man, that run off is just incredible. When you're that driver down on the inside, man, you hate seeing that. Because you don't want to be stuck down to that inside for too long. You know, you don't want to keep trying to pass.
Yeah, we're watching that Wupke's using a really, really, really high line, pretty much giving Jeff Smith like all the road for himself.
Yeah, he's giving him a lot of room, a lot of error room too.
Definitely a safe play. Probably not as fast as he could be, but it doesn't matter. He's definitely doing the job for him. He's letting Smith burn up his tyres on the inside and still holding position every single time. And if Smith makes a mistake, he should be far away enough to get away.
And that's what you think when you're that driver on the outside. You're like, go ahead, buddy, keep running that inside line. You'll be gone in a minute.
I'll see you at the end of the race with your tyres attached.
So look, he gets the advantage, but then look at that outside line, man, the run on there. He just cannot. he cannot really clear him and get up in front and take that outside line from him. And he's, you know, already committed now to that inside line.
Schmidt's starting to get some good exits, and I'm noticing he's starting to nudge a little bit further to the right with every corner, so he might end up getting a simulator, but he's going to have burned his tires pretty bad for this.
Yeah, he did get scored at the line, but just not able to clear him just yet and hold on to that position.
Every time exit a turn 2, Whoopker just puts his pedal to the metal and just leaves Schmidt in the dust.
And look at that run Whoopker just got right there.
Oh yeah, from side by side to like 3-4 car lengths ahead.
That shows you what that inside line does, man, when you are down there running, trying to take another position away. So we see right now Michael Trevarthen, the 304 Catilla, not for position.
Catilla just pitted for brand new tires. That's why I put that in that position.
And Doug George right now is still about 7.4 seconds ahead of second place, Michael Trevarthen.
And Schmidt makes the pass. Schmidt gets him on the front stretch. 4 turns 1 and 2.
Wow.
And I said I missed that. Quite curious how he managed it. But clean pass, even like 2 car lengths ahead. And now he's got the outside line for himself, and he's just going to leave.
Yeah, we'll have to watch this and see if Whoopker is going to be able to come back. These guys have been going back and forth for a little bit. They have the 32 of Eric Minch up there with him now. And he's going to stay high and let Schmidt go by.
Kind of insane to watch. For a moment there, Trevarthen actually tried to pass the freshly out of the pit from Nate Catilla. For a moment there, he was actually faster than Catilla on the corner. And then, obviously, fresh tires, Catilla just put his foot to the floor and see you later, buddy.
Yeah. You can't hang with new tires. I don't care how fast your car is. New tires are new tires.
Just for comparison as well, Doug George is still doing 32.5s, whereas Trevarthen's doing 32.2s. So he's definitely, every single lap, just constantly gaining.
Yeah, just a couple tenths here and there. He's down to 6.1. Here comes George into the pits. Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, that's a scary pit entrance, but he's done it twice and did it all right.
Probably saved a bit of time doing it too.
See if he's got a nice clean stop in his pit stall here. Yep. So that's going to put the lead up to Trevarthen, and we'll have to see how long he decides to stay out.
Meanwhile, further back in the pack, we have the return of the fight between... Whoa! Robert Hill just almost lost a tie on the back straight, on the front straight, sorry. Had Catilla on his tail for a moment there. I'm about to say they're going to recreate their previous fight, and then Hill touches the walls, slides down into the bottom end.
Ooh.
Saves it, brings it back up, and it's back on track again, but that was a moment for sure.
All right, so George is back out on the track, 1 lap down. Let's see where he is in comparison to our leader. Now here's George going across the line. And Trevarthen, I believe, going into 1. Yeah.
Interesting to watch, and it seemed like it's starting to work for him.
See, now, I believe Trevarthen stayed out, 56, 57 laps that last time. So I believe he's going to stay out and probably make it in just 1 more stop. Even if George gets by, he still has a whole track to come back around. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. Because I'm not sure if Doug George can make it from here to the end.
The question is, you get enough pace to just keep pitting and getting more tires and just pushing it again and again and again.
Look, here he goes to get his lap back. obviously going to get no contest from Trevarthen, which I wouldn't give him any trouble either. I just let him go.
I'm not playing your game, buddy. I'm playing it my way. You
Yep.
go as fast as you want. This is the turtle in the hair all over it.
Let's go back here.
It's fair to call Trevarthen a turtle at this point. He's definitely got some pace. Even on old tyres, he's still got beautiful pace in that car.
So Jeff Schmidt's still sitting in third, and Jeff Wubker in second, and they kind of spread out really far away from each other. Looks like, I don't know, maybe Jeff Schmidt, I don't see any damage on the car. Maybe he had a moment or something had to back it off a little bit.
Yes. 88, he looks like he, lap 88, he ended up having a moment, slid down to the bottom end, tapped his rear end on the inside wall, ground along it, and then collected his back up and kept going again. He's got some back left damage and maybe some front left damage as well.
Who was that?
Jeff Smith on lap 88 in the back stretch. Just after turn 2.
Let's go up to Jeff Wubker in second, 9.5 seconds behind your leader. And let's go up to the leader, Michael Trevarthen. Right now, he has got 64 laps led, be 65 when he crosses the line this time.
He's still pulling 32 threes and 32 fours, so he's still got a hell of a lot of pace in those old tires.
Yeah, he'll probably be in the 32s for quite a while.
Yeah, I bet on like 20, 30 laps he's still going to be pulling 32s somehow. I need to figure out where he's buying his tyres from so I can get a set for my car, because I really hate going through tyres every year. I think if I get the set that Trevarthen's got, they're going to last at least 10.
Yeah. What's he got? He's got 36, almost 37 laps on those tires right now.
The last stretch was anything to go by. He's going to be running on 32s for the next 20, 30 laps and without issue.
It looks like Jeff Wubker's got 40 laps on his tires. And he ran a 32.318 last time.
Damn, man.
And your leader ran a 32.387. That's pretty good.
That's absolutely amazing, to be honest.
It's like that transition, you know, you start off, it feels one way, the car gets good for a little bit, then all of a sudden it starts to go away, and then for a brief period it comes back to life during that run, and you take advantage of it while you can, and then it starts dropping really fast that next time, you know?
Oh yeah, I agree. What hell of a stretch though, they call that 20, 30 laps a brief period though.
Yeah, it's a brief period.
It's brief, it's a short section of time.
He's got 42 laps on it, and he's still running some amazing numbers, the 09 Jeff Wubker.
Maybe Eric mentioned the pits now as well. Into position 7.
Let's see what they got coming across the line. Trevarthen with a 32.297. Wubker with a 32.451. Jeff Schmidt with a
33-1.
Yeah, 33.1.
Yeah, he got some left side damage in that car now. He's going to be losing some speed, I think.
Yeah, he's going to have to get in there and get that taken care of. Doug George right now in 4th. And he's running a 31.3 that last time by. So his fresh tires are still pretty good.
Yeah. He's rolling hard on those. He's definitely been pushed, like, at least from what I've seen, he's been trying to push as much as he can, just trying to burn the tyres up and trying to gain as much speed as he can before pitting again and just doing it over again. I'm curious to see if it's going to work for him, because he's definitely got a lot of pace on his brand new tyres. But even then, like, all the pace he has, which is quite a lot, it's only about a second a lap, or maybe 2 seconds a lap at most, faster than Trevarthen.
Yeah, but if he can get himself closer to Trevarthen when he goes in the pits, Because that's the whole thing. When Trevarthen goes into pits, if Doug George is really far behind when they come out, you know what I mean, they're going to kind of be close to each other. And obviously Trevarthen will have the fresh tires for coming out of the pits, and Doug George will be on the older ones. And then when he goes in, it's not going to be too much an advantage. That last stop he did worked out really good for him. The first stop, I mean, he did really worked out good for him because that was the perfect time to go in. Because when he came back out, he had him by 17 seconds, man. If that would have been the end of the race, he would have got to the line. Yeah.
Big up to people going in. We've got Robert Hill Jr. Pitting as well. He's position 6th.
And he had a good clean stop in his pit stall. See the leader go by. Jeff Wupker in second. Jeff Schmidt right now still holding on to third. Doug George slowly closing in on Jeff Schmidt. He is going to get past him and take third from him. Doug George with a 31.589. Schmidt with a 32.918. So he'll definitely get by him. Schmidt still hasn't been in the pit for the second time. Either has Austin Marion or Wupker or Trevarthen. So that's going to put Doug George now up to third. And Doug George is only 18 seconds back from the leader. So we'll keep an eye on his time and see if he is closing in on the leader or not.
18 seconds back. He's roughly, I guess, about a second faster a lap. Which, of course, will start to go away as his tyres start to burn. And Trevarthen's apparently just doesn't change at all. Apparently he's got rock blocks on his wheels because those things just aren't degrading for him.
Yeah, and here comes the 67 of Hill. He just came out of the pits. So he's going to get by the 10 of Doug George right here. I was going to say if I was Doug George, I would let him get by real quick and try and grab on.
That's exactly what he did. He went straight to the inside to try and get behind him and get as much draft as possible.
Worst thing you can do in his spot is to fight that driver with the fresh tires, and both of you lose time.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like it's not fighting the guy who's 3 positions behind him, one who may be in front of him. He can just get up to speed, try and get behind him, and just hold on for dear life.
Yep.
He's getting a lot of time on Trevarthen.
Grab that wheel and go, man. Yeah, he's closing it a little bit. He's down to about 17.1 right now, so 16.9. So he's making up a little bit of time right now.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely going to catch him every single lap. He's always going to be catching him. He's never going to actually not catch him. The question is whether he can catch him enough that the next pit stop, or the one after that, or the one at the end, that he'll be in front of him.
Yeah. And I'm trying to take a look right now at Jeff Wupker's time here to see if he's doing anything to the leader, because he's 32.531 for Trevarthen, 32.839 for Wupker. So
starting to drop off for sure. His lap is still being very consistent, but he is starting to lose lap time.
Let's run through.
3 per second faster.
We'll run through real quick here. We have Eric Minch, who started 6th. He is currently sitting 8th. Nate Catilla started 5th. He is currently sitting in 7th. Robert Hill Jr. started 4th. He is sitting in 6th. Austin Marion started 7th. He is currently sitting in 5th. Jeff Schmidt started 3rd. He's sitting 4th. Doug George started 8th. He is currently sitting 3rd. Jeff Wupker was your pole sitter here, and he's currently running 2nd. And Michael Trevarthen started 2nd, and he is up front. And he has got, 78 laps led. There's GFRL Homenet hosting Cup Series at Kentucky Motor Speedway live.
Whoa! Nate Catilla just went really loose in front of Trevarthen. Tried to back off a bit and lose a bit of time. But like, Catilla must have had some great car control to save that because it was getting really tail happy there.
Yeah, and you see him right there again, swing it down low.
It's still a little loose. The damage in this car plus probably some cooked tires. That car is not happy right now.
Yeah, and you can see the back end of that car, the spoiler bent up in the air, the rear's crunched in just a bit.
Yeah, you can see it every once in a while, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
It looks like he's.
Great car control, for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to stay up out of the way. Obviously, doesn't want to give up too much. And Javarthan's going to shoot it down low and make the pass.
Fortunately, almost every corner, Nate Catilla's rear end just keeps wiggling out. That damage must be really affecting his car. Or possibly not quite enough practice if he'd like. He did it right rather late.
Yeah, but if you take a look at the back of that car, it's lifted up pretty high.
Yeah, it's definitely not helping right now.
And you see Eric Minch, and that will be for position between him and the 304 of Catilla. So if Minch can get up here and get past him, that'll move him up a spot to 7th.
Yeah, and Doug George just flew past Whoop. Whoop is now in the 33s, so he's starting to lose speed on his tyres. And Doug George is still in the 31s, but only just. So his time's almost starting to match up with Trevathan's now.
And he's only 12.2 behind. And here goes Eric Minch for the pass. Oh, he's going to bring it back behind him. He's going to shoot to the outside.
Minch has got damn near brand new tires compared to Catilla. Whoa, here he goes again.
Oh, man, he got a little bit slippery there.
Seems like every single lap, every single corner, it's the same thing. Either his tires are cooked or his car really is damaged.
And Whoopker taking it down the pits.
It's got to be nightmare fuel for him though. Every single lap, just
holding your breath and holding on. And here comes the leader. Trevathan going to come down pit road.
Yeah, lap 111. This is about when he will be pitting. Once again, smoothly in, no fuss, no mess, just cleanly in. Not even.
And Eric Minch does take it around the outside. So that's going to move Eric Minch to 7th. Nate Catilla back to 8th.
You see it again. Once again, Catilla's had a nice little wiggle on the exit again.
And Doug George goes back to the lead. So we got to see how this is going to play out, man. This is definitely going to be interesting between the 10 and the 2.
The one big wrench in the works of this whole game, though, is if we get a safety car for whatever reason. Like this has been a great game of strategy between these two, and I really want to see it go to the end, but you never know. Someone could have a nice little slip.
Yeah, if you look right now, Trevathan coming out of the pits, and here comes your leader. Going to catch him right here on the back stretch. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. He's not that close to him, and he's going to have the fresher tires. So he's going to be able to get back around because he's technically, I believe, still on the lead lap just at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm. He's indeed on the lead lap.
So this is going to be really interesting.
I'd say this is definitely good for Doug George, though, because he got more of a gap on than he did last lap. Last lap pit stop, sorry.
Yeah.
But I'd say, like, if things continue the way they are, this strategy does appear to be working for George. He's gaining time on Trevathan. See how it comes out of the next pit cycle, of course, for Doug George. But it looks like it's definitely starting to work for him. He's building up a gap every time Trevathan comes in.
And if you look right now, we've had 3 lead changes. There's still 54, 53 laps to go now. So there'll definitely be one more pit stop. Austin Marion leaving the pits.
So Catilla's going off the track into the inside line. So he's probably going to try going around to the pits while staying off the track entirely.
Ooh.
Guess he didn't feel safe trying to do it on the bank.
Yeah, I've seen a couple guys coming in that way. I guess that is a safer way to do it. I was coming in off the banking. I'll tell you what, man, it's a scary entrance.
It's an experience for sure. Yeah, Catilla now in the pits.
I doubt he's going to stay and get any of that damage fixed. Let's just take a quick look at his pit time.
Unfortunately, Catilla is currently in last place out of all the cars on track, so personally I'd be considering just keeping that car alive. Get it repaired, make sure we don't have any more of these wobbles and make it to the end.
Yeah, he got a little bit of it repaired because that was a 19.6. So he did stay and get a little bit of the damage repaired. So probably a little bit here and there. Just kind of hard to get it repaired under green, man, because you lose so much time.
We got Austin Marin finally in the pits as well. I'm pretty sure he had the city pitted in the first pits at the same time as Trevathan, so he came in the pits 3 laps after Trevathan this time. Unless my guess is incorrect.
Yeah, everybody's got a plan here, man. Ooh, did you see that? The who was that? The 67, Robert Hills with a big wiggle there coming out.
You know, starting to think that everyone was, starting to smooth their cars out, get used to the track, but every once in a while someone pushes it a little too much, or gets just flying a little bit too much, and all of a sudden you see the car start wiggling bad.
Wait till we get to 20 to go.
Oh yeah. Like we saw the same thing happen with Smith. Like we've seen everyone get really comfortable with their car, getting around the track, pulling good laps, and then just one time someone will slip and end up with either some damage, some lost time, or brown pants.
You see right here, Trevathan in second, Minch not for position, but he did get around him, so that's going to give him a little bit of clear road ahead. Doug George right now out front. Going to be 36 laps this time across the stripe. Doug George having himself a real good night here tonight, man.
Yeah, he's now going down to the rough, average lap times, we'll call it, for Trevathan. Trevathan was pulling anywhere from 32.5s to 32.1s and everywhere in between. Now George is off to the back of it at the same time, so I'd probably say he's probably going to pit reasonably soon. Try and, try and get as much speed back and do it again. Or he may try and just copy Trevathan's tactic now, just, stretch it out as much as he can.
Yeah, I think with the gap that he has over him, 21 seconds still, if the car's not totally falling apart, I would try and stay out a little bit longer and make sure when I come in that is going to be my last pit stop.
Definitely a possibility for sure. He's still got quite a bit of pace, and he's still running rather damn fast. And it's going to make it an absolute nightmare for Trevathan to even catch him. Plans can change, but so far his previous plan or current plan has been working.
So we go back to the 61, Jeff Schmidt. He's still sitting in fourth, so he's having himself a pretty good run here tonight. Even with that little bit of damage that was hurting him a little bit, he's still managing to hang on to fourth. Robert Hill Jr. in that 67, he is still currently sitting in fifth, and then Eric Minch in sixth in at number 32.
Just comparison of lap times as well. We got obviously Doug George running 32.3s, 32.5s, roughly around that area. And then you got obviously Trevathan, brand spanking new tyres, 31.2s, 31.3s. So this is pretty much the exact same thing we've seen before, just reversed.
Yeah.
Trevathan in the last one, and he's chasing down Doug George.
There'll probably be some big conversations after this race.
Oh yeah, shoes on the other foot now. The other one's being chased. Keeping an eye on other drivers as well, particularly Catilla. It looks like he's finally got this car, I wouldn't say under control, he's been under control the whole time, but less scary wiggles for him.
Yeah, I'm going to jump inside with him for a little bit. Let's just jump up on the roof.
That could be the brand new tyres he's got. Fresh rubber, easy to control. He may start wiggling a little bit later, but at the moment he's running happy. Nothing to worry about, not a care in the world.
Let's jump up to Austin Marion. We'll take a lap around with him. hear him kind of on off on that throttle.
Find the right moment. Do it too early, you're going to spin your rear end around. Do it too late, and you're just going to lose time.
Let's go to Eric Minch in the number 32.
Travatha running a full second faster than Doug George still. Almost exactly 1 second. Definitely eating into that little lead that Doug George has. Curious to see how he will respond.
So right now with Robert Hill Jr. Ooh, man, he slides that thing way up close to the wall. He's definitely got that thing wound up right now.
Whoop, Doug George going in for the pits now. He's going on to the inlane. Whatever you call that, the track that no one ever uses.
Yeah, let's take a ride in with him.
Cleaner entrance this time compared to his normal.
And that seems like right now we're inside the car with him. That is a slow ride.
Oh yeah. So looks like he appears to be at least sticking to his previous tactic of pitting early, getting fresh tyres and running them down.
He's got a good stop. Let's go back out now. That should put Travatha. Let's see how this is going to turn out.
I think Travatha should pop out just ahead of him, just like Doug pulled up just ahead of Travatha.
George just leaving the pits now, and here comes the leader across the stripe.
Oh ho! Really? Look at this tactic has worked really well for Doug George.
Yeah, he's only oh well, it just disappeared on me, so let me see.
And so the dance continues.
Yeah.
Interestingly, when Travatha came out the pits, he was right in front of George, whereas George came out, he's got Jeff Smith between him and Travatha.
And he's only about 28 seconds or so behind, I guess.
Gonna be an interesting one for sure. It just depends on who's in front right at the end. I bet you there's someone who's going to give us the right answer, but we're guessing.
I wonder if Travatha's going to save and try and make it.
We'll try and pull Doug Jones and just pull it and just push it so.
Because you got Jeff Wupker in second. He's 18.5 back. He still hasn't pitted. He's only on his second stop. Doug George is on his third stop.
Speaking of pitting as well, Robert Hill just leaving the pits.
You have Eric Minch that's on 2 stops, Jeff Schmidt that's on 2 stops, and Travatha that's on 2 stops. So, I don't know, man. I'm not really sure how this is really going to be.
Definitely very interesting to watch. It's almost like they're kind of like mirrored tactics. One's just the same thing reflected backwards. It can honestly go either way, just depending on how the race ends. Or it could end up being not mattering at all, just someone crashing into a wall. Gotta love racing, baby.
Pick one, there's a lot of walls, man.
I think the exit of turn 2 is probably everyone's favorite right now.
4 lead changes, and I believe were the only leaders, Travatha and Doug George.
Oof. Almost had a moment between Robert Hill and Nate Patilla again.
Wow. Oh, contact.
There we go. There is that moment. They must have heard me and decided, okay, we'll go from almost to definitely a moment.
Yeah. Wow.
Gotta say, if Catilla was going to put his car right in the rear of Robert Hill, I probably wouldn't blame him, because that's been a few times he's impacted him. Definitely not made Nate Patilla's life easy.
And Robert Hill right now is on 3 laps. Doug George is on 6 laps. So 3-lap tire difference there.
Yeah, Doug George, 0.3 seconds faster.
And he's cut it down to about 23 seconds.
Unfortunately, George won't be catching Trevathan as fast as he was previously, as Trevathan's still running on reasonably fresh tyres and still pulling 31.9s.
Yeah, he's still pulling some pretty decent times there.
That being said, Doug George did just do a 31 flat, so he's actually exactly the same difference in speed compared to where he's always been. Roughly 0.9.
Austin Marion in that number 65, sitting in 6th.
Eric mentioned the pits as well. Position 7. Interesting. Let's see, serving penalty or maybe getting fuel, because he's been sitting in that pits for a while, even though both his tires are already done.
Yeah, 29 seconds. So he might have got caught speeding coming in and got held for 15 seconds on top of his pit stop.
Yeah, it looks like his pit lane spin was a little bit or just his footwork was not quite right, and he was about 10 kilometers faster than he should be. Or miles for you, computer, I guess.
All we want to know was did he get busted or not?
I think definitely faster than he should.
Yeah, so he had his pit stop and probably a 15-second hold at least.
That's a shame for him, for sure.
Yeah, it's always a bad feeling when you get caught in the pits, especially if it's for a position. Here's Doug George and Jeff Wubker switching spots now. So Doug George going to move into 2nd. Jeff Wubker's going to go back to 3rd. And then you see the 67 of Robert Hill Jr. He is 1 lap down, so he is not for a position here, but he is trying to get by.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that yellow line.
Exactly, yellow line, man. don't put a tire there.
Yeah, dude, stay off that line. And he's back on it again.
I swear these guys are listening to us. Just every time we say something, like, nope, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of what that guy said.
I'll show you, man. That line's scary, man. I'll tell you what, it does not like when those cars hit it.
I think I hear a voice coming from the distance, and it sounds like it's saying, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, hold this. It looks like he's going to try one more time again to go by the 09. It looks like the 09 may move over and just let him get that spot.
Yeah, he's on older tires, so there's not much point trying to contest it. Besides having a bit of fun, I suppose. Little Trevathan's current lap, let's see what you get to the line. Yeah, Trevathan's last lap was a 32.49. Whereas Doug George's next lap is almost at the finish line, so I'm just going to wait for that. But his previous one was a 31.4. He was already a full second ahead. But on this lap, yep, he's just under a full second. Once again, 0.9, where he's always been.
Wow.
Roughly 0.9 of a second faster.
This is definitely going to be interesting here. 26 laps to go. Is he going to have enough to get up to Trevathan and pass him? Trevathan, let's see, 31 lap tires. Doug George, 14 lap tires. We may see it here.
Definitely going to be very interesting to watch. I'm quite enjoying it. Even though it's been a small field, It's definitely interesting to watch. And whoa, Catilla again, tail happy. The exit 4, right behind Travath. That damage is definitely. Once Catilla gets out of this car, he really have to get his hands washed because those things are going to be brown.
Yeah, he's definitely got his hands full with that machine right now.
Gotta say, absolute props to him for being able to hold it on the road, even with that damage. And either lack of practice or just, bad luck.
Yeah, we've seen some. Go ahead. Yep, here he goes. Yeah, we've seen some good saves here tonight too, man. We've seen some guys sideways and managed to keep their car going back in the right direction.
Definitely been some bloody good saves.
Let's take a quick look where everybody's sitting right now. You got Trevarthen up front, Doug George in second, Jeff Wupker in third, Jeff Schmidt in fourth, Robert Hill Jr. in fifth, Austin Marion in sixth, Eric Minch right now being shown in seventh, and Nate Catilla being shown in eighth. And we 22 laps to go. So we're closing in here. Right now, Doug George is about 13.8 seconds behind.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record, he's pretty much exactly as fast as Trevarthen as he's always been, about 0.8 to 0.9 of a second.
Yeah, it seems like he can't get out of that area right there.
The question is how much time does he lose per pit stop? How much does he gain every single time before the next pit? Because essentially every lap he's gaining nearly a second. But then he loses, well, how much from the pits, you could say? Yeah.
He does lose a little bit. But then again, we saw it the other way around too,
Yeah, I want to see some like maths whiz somewhere. It's just like crunching numbers in his head. Just see like algorithms in his head, like and knows who's going to come out on top. Because at the moment, I'm saying it could go either way. And whoa, Nate Catilla again, big slide.
Wow.
I think at this point, he thinks it's a drift competition because it's like every time, man. And hey, look, his best friend's behind him in Robert Hill Jr.
And Catilla, oh, there he goes. He's going around. And wow, dude, what a crazy save.
It's like every lap, man. He's off just doing drifts with it.
Yeah, it's almost like there is no downforce on the back of that car.
Seems like even worse. It's like upforce or something because it's just there's nothing there.
Yeah, I got the opposite.
This is what happens when you bend your spoiler the other way around.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, man, he's good job saving it because that's really hard to save once they start getting into an ugly side like that.
And he's caught right up to Robert Hill.
Well, he's got the fresher tires, and they are.
Whoa! No. Robert lost it there for a moment.
Yeah. I thought they were for. I almost said they were for position, but they're not.
Nowhere near, fortunately. It would be great to see that for position. Catilla's been fighting long and hard in that car. He deserves something for it, damn it.
And right now, Doug George, 11.5 seconds. So closing in just a little bit. That last time by, Trevarthen ran a 32.3 and Doug George ran a 31.8. So I don't know if Trevarthen might be saving, maybe saving fuel.
I don't think so. I think Trevarthen is actually just running it. Like, I don't think he's saving it. He's just been driving it. Has been driving since the start because it's pretty much been the speed he's been running. 32s, low 32s. Towards the end of the run, it's like mid 32s and high 32s. And Doug George just once again just pushing. Burn up the tires, keep going.
Yeah, well, at this point, second place, coming close to the end of the race. You know what I mean? It's time to go, man. It's all or nothing right now.
This may still play in Doug Jones' hand. We said, you think Jones just had a bit of a moment himself there?
You see him getting around the 61 of Jeff Schmidt right there.
Yeah, he should have had him last lap. He had a bit of a wiggle, or at least he just let off the gas a bit because he just actually lost time to him. Yeah, 32.4. He was like 0.4 of a second, maybe 0.5 seconds slower than his previous lap, so he definitely had a bit of a moment.
Yeah, they almost have identical laps that time by.
That is not what Jones wants. It's not what George wants, sorry, not Jones. I keep saying that.
And Jeff Schmidt not doing too bad considering he had a little bit of an issue earlier with that car. Still going to get a fourth place so far the way things look. The only other driver behind him is Robert Hill Jr. and he is one lap down compared to Schmidt. So Schmidt really can set sail and hang on to a top 5 here. Wolfger's sitting in third. He's about 20 seconds back from your leader, 10 seconds back from Doug George. Doug George on the freshest tires of the top 3. And then we have Trevarthen, 43 laps on those tires. It's got a 32.5. He's out front here now, 110 laps. He's going to be watching and listening to his spotter to hear when the 10 closes in a little bit.
I'm a little hazy on this series. Is it by time or is it by lap or is it by both?
For which?
For the finish.
Who comes through first?
So it's by time then, yeah? Or is it by time and lap?
By time and lap.
Okay, so that means there's only like, what, 10 laps to go? Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, 12 laps to go.
Damn.
We're,
for sure.
Yeah, and we're cutting it close with the time because there's only a little less than 6 minutes left. See, with these servers, if the time is going to run out, I believe what it'll do is if it's 167 laps, but you're not going to get the full one in, it'll just cut it short, white flag it. So if it was scheduled for 167, but time ran out before, you know, it may be like a 158 or 160.
Whereas in that case, I might have to hitch my horse to Trevarthen then, because he's got one hell of a gap between him and George.
Yeah, he's still got 8.5 seconds, and we're closing in right now, 10 laps to go.
Yeah, like George is obviously still pushing it, but I don't think he's gonna be able to make that unless he's got like, you know, a bit of nitrous hitting under the tank somewhere.
Yeah, unless Trevarthen really has a crazy wall incident or something like that, I don't think he's going to be able to get him with 9 laps to go now.
Bit of a shame because it was one hell of an interesting strategy to watch, but it looks like Trevarthen's just calm, collected. I hate to call it the turtle strategy, but you know, in this turtle in the hare race that was going on, I think that's probably what you have to call it.
Yeah, but he managed to get up there, lead a bunch of laps. Definitely had a good car, so not like he didn't have a fast car out here tonight. Just
tried something off the wall for sure.
Yeah.
Just go.
I really thought it was going to be a lot closer here towards the end, but it ain't over yet. That's the one thing I've learned calling these races. It's not over till that checkered flag comes out. Just when you think you've got the leader, you know who's first, second, and third, all of a sudden everything changes.
Well, and everything changing. What do you think the most likely wild card's going to be? Mine's on somebody spinning their car finally.
I'll tell you what, man. I am surprised that we haven't seen anybody full out wreck. We've seen some really good saves, some close spin outs, but
we've seen a few taps on the wall, like you see Jeff Smith, you know, going a little too hot and putting his left end into the wall. But yeah, you're right. No one's actually fully destroyed the car.
Yeah, we've had 0 cautions.
I shouldn't be laughing. I keep going back to Nate Patilla, and every lap it's another trip. He's still sliding. It's just I can just go back and like a clock, like clockwork, every single time.
Yeah.
And after my heart there.
Yeah, you see him do a little slide out. 67, Robert Hill Jr. behind him did a little bit of a slide out. Watch him coming out of 4.
That actually came out pretty clean for him.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Wow. Wow.
Jeff Smith too.
Yeah, he drove it right up into Jeff Schmidt's door. I don't know how this guy's saving that car, man.
I don't know. It's like there's a divine hand or something. That car is just like, it's probably gonna park it, and the thing's just gonna start falling off.
Yeah, it'll just start falling apart once it's in there. But that was a great save again, man. He drove it in a little bit too hard. It slid up into the 61 of Schmidt, but man, I thought that was going to be it. Caution come out. That would have ended the race.
And Robert Hill had his own little slide again, right on the exit 2.
And Doug George is 5 seconds back with 4 laps to go.
He's been fighting hard, but I don't think he's going to make it, unfortunately. Last lap, he was only 0.2 of a second faster.
But we have the 65 of Austin Marion right in front of the leader. Looks like he's going to swing it up high to let the leader by.
Good call from him, if a bit of a boring one, unfortunately. You want some action? So I think actually Austin Marion and Mitch are actually on the same lap, and they're 6th and 7th, right next to each other. So we may have a bit of a brawl for 6th. Did I say that? Marion passes. So Mitch passes.
Yeah, I think Mitch is 1 more lap behind.
Oh.
Yeah, it's showing Mitch in 4 laps down and Marion 3 laps down. All right, 2 laps to go. And Doug George is 4.7 seconds behind. Let me pull it up real quick. 4.6 behind. He's really
Difficult for him to catch up, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's really looking for something to happen with that number 2 right now.
You never wish harm upon another person, but there are times you wish those that may just crash.
White flag is in the air, and we are almost out of time. We are down to 20 seconds. So this is going to be probably a quick finish here.
Been a good strategy from Travathan for sure. Just stretch it out, drive nice and clean. Don't even push it too hard. Just keep the speed up.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him slide or be into trouble. He just cleanly over.
And Travathan's going to take the win here. Started second, 123 laps led, and he has got it.
And George, of course, in second place. He made one hell of a run for it.
And we are out of time. I think that's the first time I've called a race that run out of time right at the checkers.
I mean, it's not even like we had any incidents or anything. That was just clean racing the whole way through.
Yeah, if we would have had incidents, it would have been a whole lot worse.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a good race from all involved, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. Let's try to get a word in with third place. Who's that? Jeff Wubker? Give him a minute to where's my mouse? Give him a minute to get themselves together here. We'll get the 09 of Jeff Wubker down here, and we'll talk to Jeff real quick. Hey, Jeff Wubker, you got the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha. You got me?
Yes, sir. Hey, man, not a bad run here tonight. You came home third. How was the car feeling out there for you, man? Give us a breakdown of your race tonight.
Well, I'll say by starting out, the qualifying lap just pretty much surprised me. I know Doug George had some kind of issue in qualifying. He was the fastest and pretty much in practice. I was really happy to get the pole, but yeah, I had a feeling I'd have my hands full with Doug and Michael. I'm really happy to get a podium finish here. I don't get a lot of them, so really happy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we seen a lot of good saves out there, man. It seemed like a lot of guys were having a little bit of issues on exit. We've seen a lot of guys still trying to use that low line to make some passes, but no cautions. And I mean, there was a bunch of guys that I believe in, including yourself, that were sideways at one point. I don't know how you guys saved it.
Yeah, there is yeah, coming out of the turns, there was a little bit of a loose condition. The car, though, had a pretty good balance to it, even though it was a little loose. But it was a fun car to drive tonight. It actually was more fun than the car last night. Last night's car was really tight, the Xfinity series. But yeah, all in all, I can't say the setup was too bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. 167 laps and 0 cautions. Definitely a great race here, man. You came out here with the pole and you finished third, so that's not bad. You got the car in one piece. I believe next week is New Hampshire. Are you going to be there, and how do you feel about going to New Hampshire?
Yeah, I like flat 1 miles. I grew up near the park there, West Dallas, Milwaukee Mile, which is a very similar track, and for some reason I just have a tendency to like that track. So I'll be racing next week, and I feel I might do pretty good there, and appreciate all the accolades and compliments. And
Uh,
thanks for all you guys do.
awesome, man. Hey, before we let you get out of here and go celebrate, anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, my wife for letting me do this every week. Um, all the fellow drivers, uh, Go Fast Racing League, Skylar Allen putting this together and everything. The broadcast that you guys do is exceptional every week. And I got a faithful cousin of mine that watches my races every week, which is always nice to have a fan out there. Her name is Sherry.
Oh, awesome, man. All right. Well, we'll be glad to. She'll be glad to see you doing that, and we'll give a shout out, man. We'll look for you next week at New Hampshire, and congratulations on the pole and third place finish here tonight, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. All right, that was third place, Jeff Wupker. Let's go. Is Doug George floating around here anywhere?
Fortunately, he left.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to our winner. If I can find him, there he is. All right, we have our winner here, Michael Traverta, and you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, 123 laps led, started second. Dude started up in the front. Nice, clean car. Great run here tonight, man. We've seen you do some amazing stuff, some really long runs on those tires, and really consistent times, man. Give us a breakdown.
Yeah, I was really surprised that the 310's four stop was really close to my three stop. So obviously tires were super important here. I was losing a lot, 2.5 seconds per lap on the older tires. But like I said, I had a strategy set in play. I was going to stick to my guns on it. It obviously worked out. I think had there been another 20 laps there, Doug would have had my number. So like I said, great night overall. Yeah, definitely backing up the corners, saving the tires on all 167 laps. Didn't overdrive it too much. So just tried to keep those long run tires under the car. It definitely worked out.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, we were talking up here, and we were really surprised at how long you can keep the car out there. We were watching some of the lap times as you went by, and they really didn't start dropping off bad till the very, very end. And even then, we were really surprised that at the little bit of amount of drop off that it was. We were watching Doug George there in the number 10 slowly closing in on you there at the end, but there just wasn't enough. You're right. I believe if there would have been another 10 laps or so, definitely would have been a little bit more interesting at the end. But, man, I'll tell you what, you definitely had yourself a great run here, man. 123 laps, dude. That's definitely something to throw in the book.
Yeah, we're happy with it. Like I said, hats off to Doug George for a hell of a race there. I know that first 58 laps, he kept me honest. He was right there within a second of me for many, many laps. So, yeah, had it have been the same strategy, I think we would have had a barn burner there up front. But like I said, I know the car count was a little bit low tonight, so like I said, kind of makes it for a little bit of a slow broadcast. But a win is a win either way. Definitely a great points night, and yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. We just pulled the points up real quick. You're sitting second. We saw Eric Mick isn't here, so I'm curious to see what the gap is going to be now between you two, if you're going to take over or if it's just going to bring you a little bit more closer.
Yeah, it should be pretty close. I know Eric's missed a few races here and there, so like I said, we'll take the points lead and see if we can bring it into the chase and maybe have some good luck there.
All right, man. Well, listen, next week is New Hampshire. You going to be here for New Hampshire?
I will. The flat tracks seem to be my kryptonite. Not sure what it is there. Like I said, we've got a few wins on the flat tracks, a couple wins at New Hampshire, but it's either kind of like Daytona or Talladega. It's feast or famine there, either checkers or wreckers.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I feel the same way. I think it'll be a pretty interesting race, and I'll tell you what, man, if it's anything like tonight, you definitely do good, man. 123 laps led. You started second. You kept the car in one piece. Some long pit strategies, man. Definitely amazing. Good to see, and congratulations on the win, man.
I appreciate it. Definitely want to give a shout out to SR Broadcasting for coming on board. Those have been some great broadcasts to watch, man. A lot of fun. Definitely want to give a shout out to Skylar and the admins at Go Fast. Sorry, Skylar couldn't be with us tonight, but like I said, my teammates, Metalhead Motorsports. Like I said, we put a lot of seat time in on the practices, and like I said, work together as a team, and great effort through everybody. So, like I said, I hope to see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll be looking for you next week, man. Congratulations on the win.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right. Let me see if I can get one last person in here. I want to see if I can talk to Jeff Schmidt. Hey, Jeff Schmidt, Paul up in the SR booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Paul. How you doing, man?
All right, man. Hey, looked like you had a little bit better luck tonight, man. You got a fourth-place finish. We know last few races you kind of got in the wrong spot at the wrong time, man, and really got destroyed there. All in all, how do you feel it was for you tonight?
Personally, not good. I mean, the beginning of the race was great. I messed up, and I lost it off turn 2. Excuse me. And I went towards the inside wall. I was able to save it, but got a bunch of damage from it, and that's when I fell off there. Otherwise, I should have been up there on the podium right there with Mike. We had it figured out, man, and yeah, just a mistake by me. All my fault.
Yeah, we saw that little bit of damage, and we could tell it was definitely hurting your car, man. But still, you managed to hang on to it and take it in fourth, and hopefully this is going to bring back that momentum back to you, man, and clear up some of that bad luck that you had a couple races. Next week, New Hampshire, how you feel about going there?
Yeah, I really like the short tracks. They're a lot of fun. You got to be patient, but super aggressive, and that's kind of a hard thing to balance, but it's fun to balance those things compared to some of these, other mile-and-a-half tracks. The aggressiveness really shows, but too aggressive, and you're going to mess up, and it's going to be the end of your day. Or someone else's. You don't want to be that guy either. So it's a lot of fun to go to short tracks and see, everyone, and kind of like road courses. It's a different breed of people that are good at those kind of tracks compared to your typical mile and a halves. Great race tonight. Unfortunately, we only had 8 guys in here. That's not what we like to see in the league, but it's something that we can't control. It's not something we know that's going to happen. Just unfortunate that there wasn't a big attendance tonight, but the guys that race, and they try to show up when they can.
Yeah, well, me and Nathaniel were even saying, even though there was only 8 cars out here tonight, it was nothing short on the racing end, man. And at this time of year, I'm sure there's lots of people that are still trying to get those last-minute vacations in before school starts again and everything too, man. So, we go through that, even at our league and some of the other leagues that we do, and there's nothing you can do in the summertime, man. Wintertime's a whole different story, but, when it comes to vacationing and trying to get that stuff in before school starts, you know what I mean? You got to put your priorities in the right way. But I'll tell you what, 167 laps, man. We've seen some really great saves out there by a bunch of drivers. 0 cautions, only 4 lead changes, man. Some real good racing. Can't wait next week till New Hampshire.
Absolutely. Yeah, these guys are a blast to run with. This league is great. Um, yeah, Skylar did a great thing with it, and the other admins are great as well. We do everything we can to get these guys to come out and race, and unfortunately, sometimes they're, you know, people have their priorities, and that's understandable because when they got things going on, we don't want to deter that from them. So
Yeah.
that is what it is. I do want to update you though on the points. I seen that the points that you showed on screen, those are actually outdated. The old points leader Eric Mickey is now in 7th place because he hasn't ran the last few races with us. Trevarthen is leading. I'm in 2nd, and then Josh Bonwell's in 3rd.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'll have to get these updated. I thought they were updated. All right. Good. Thanks for pointing that out, man.
No problem. Yep. So Mike was coming in leading leading the points from last week, and he just gained more tonight by winning this thing and leading the most laps.
Wow.
So congratulations to him. Absolutely. And wish we could have been there on the podium with him, but things happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens next week in New Hampshire, man. Another week, another race, and you never know. Like we were saying during that race too, we were watching Doug George slowly, close in a little bit on Trevarthen. Obviously, there wasn't enough laps for him to catch him, but we were just like, man, just when you think you know the whole scenario, anything can happen until that checker flag comes out. So, anything can happen, man. It's just when you think it's safe to get out there, and next thing you know, boom, it's a whole different story.
Absolutely. I like those kind of races. I mean, some people hate fuel mileage races, but I think they're fun. And that 3 to 4, the difference between 3 or 4 pit stops there was, yeah, the guy's still got to pit one more time than you, but he's got that much of fresher tires, and the tires were a huge deal here.
Yeah.
So it really, in the end, it almost equalizes a bit, but it all depends on when your competitors pit compared to you. You kind of want to be the first guy to get tires and, use them as much as you can and kind of conserve, but you don't want to use them up at the wrong time, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, definitely was a good race, and 4th place for you, man. That's not bad. Hopefully this is a turnaround and get some of that bad luck off you, and we'll see what happens next week at New Hampshire, man. We'll be ready. We'll get everything updated, and we'll be ready to go.
10-4, thank you for the broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. Have a great night.
All right, have a good night, man. Thank you.
Peace,
all right,
brother.
All right, man, let's go over our results, and then we'll get out of here. We'll call it a night. First of all, let's look at the race summary. We had 167 laps, 0 cautions, 4 lead changes. We had some amazing saves out here, man. Michael Trevarthen does start 2nd, and he'll finish with 123 laps led. Next week is New Hampshire, so make sure you tune in next week for New Hampshire. Quick look at the results here. You got Michael Trevarthen taking the lead and the win. Doug George finishing 2nd. Jeff Whoopker finishes 3rd. Jeff Schmidt, who we just talked to, finishes 4th. Robert Hill Jr. finishes 5th. 6th goes to Austin Marion. 7th goes to Eric Minch. 8th is Nate Attila. Mark Cohen, who did not take the field, gets scored 9th, and Brandon Stokes gets scored 10th. So be sure to tune in next week at New Hampshire. And Wingnut, I appreciate you being out here, man. I know you're on a different time zone than us, and you're freezing out there, man, but I do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come and call the race here, man. A lot of fun calling the race with you, brother.
Always a pleasure, man. I don't care what time it is or how cold it is. I'll always come join this if I can.
Awesome, bro. All right, man. Until next week, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Peace.